Let's talk about Michael Thompson and Alex Grinch's defensive line and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today we're going to talk about Alex Grinch's defensive line and Michael Thompson. Now, folks that basically live and die by OU football news and rumors have heard a rumor that I cannot substantiate, but hey man, we're here to just talk about what ifs and what it could look like and why it does make sense. Michael Thompson might not be playing defensive line, might be making the move to offensive line. We'll still have to wait and see. There's been no immediate, great, massive change that folks can point to, be like, yeah, that's happening. But it would make sense. Why would it make sense? Because Alex Grinch's defensive line and his entire defense is built on the idea of speed. And since you cannot coach guys to run faster than they can already run, one of the things that you're going to do is put smaller folks in positions where larger folks usually play. You see this in Gary Patterson's 4-2-5. They're small, but they be fast, and they fly to the football, and that's one of the reasons they're very good. And when you look at Alex Grinch's defensive line, you see a 3-4 front, but it acts like a 4-3 front because it's a one-gap scheme. Now, what used to be called the jack linebacker, we're going to start referring to as the rush backer because that's what Grinch calls it, and that's Ronnie Perkins. That is the Mark Jackson guy, right? That's the dude that Mike Stoops put so much on to make plays in the backfield. Now, you're also talking about a defensive tackle and or a nose tackle, and of course, a strong side defensive end. What else does that mean for you, right? That means that space eaters, the guys that were recruited to Mike Stoops' defense to play on the line, to play two gap, no longer going to be in vogue for Grinch's defense. You want smaller, slighter, faster guys on the inside, which is why I'd always thought that even a guy like Ronnie Perkins might be moving inside to even like a 3 technique, right? Maybe even a 1 technique if you trusted him to be that strong and get into the A gap. But for Michael Thompson, a guy who's 6'5", 336 pounds, he would have to slim down quite a bit or be faster than we think that he is to continue to play on that defensive line and get snaps. Now, one thing in particular, you don't really have the kind of defensive line depth at experience that you want, but we can have a decent argument about talent. A lot of folks believe in Jordan Kelly. A lot of folks still believe in Marquise Overton and Dylan Fonmatel, and also, of course, Neville Gallimore, who you're going to need to hold up the defensive line once again. On the end, you got Kenneth Mann, you got Tyrese Lott. You have guys that can play. Isaiah Thomas is an interesting prospect because at his size and weight, around about 250, you could see him playing either behind a Ronnie Perkins, like a Jalen Redmond or whatnot, or Mark Jackson, or you could see him moving inside. And with Alex Grinch's defense in January, all of this is a crapshoot, which is why I'm bringing it to your attention that none of this is in stone, right? And guys make the move to the other side of the ball, but the reason that a lot of folks would be upset about Michael Thompson is nobody got to see him play defensive line at Oklahoma. He blew out his ACL last June, right? So they obviously have seen something or might have seen something that would lead them to contend that he no longer has his place on OU's defensive line and moves to, I don't know, guard, maybe tackle for Bill Bedenbaugh. And I'm sure Bill Bedenbaugh, if he wants that guy, he can make something work with him. But we're talking about a 4-star recruit here. We're talking about an Army All-American. We're talking about a dude that was the latest get in the 2018 class when we're talking about filling it out into that top 10 class. He signed on signing day. And that was a really big deal because he's following Ronnie Perkins out here. And we saw what Ronnie Perkins was able to do, lead the team in sacks. And we all loved Ronnie Perkins. The thing that you want to take away, though, is that, hey, if the commitment to speed is there and the commitment to being smaller and faster is there, yeah, you're going to move a guy like Michael Thompson, and it makes a lot more sense that you're going to start recruiting guys that you want to fill out between 250 and 275, maybe push it 3 bills if they're very fast. But that makes sense, right? Because in this defense, you want to be able to fly the football because you run against air raid concepts all the time. And you also want guys that can stand off blocks. So you want strength and leverage and flexibility, right? Over just straight size. You want agility. You want burst. You want guys that can absolutely beat the defensive line by getting by them as opposed to holding them in place. Still, it's not going to make a whole lot of people happy to hear this news, but it's out there, and we'll just continue to monitor the situation. I, for one, would love to see Michael Thompson playing on the defensive line because I think the guy is a defensive lineman. But if he's all in on playing the other side of the ball, that's fine. That's okay. You'll be okay. It's kind of like last year when you had cornerbacks move to playing safety because you were so thin at safety. Now, it's a little bit different because you're not thin on the offensive line. But you do want to put players in the best position to succeed. It's just not often that you think that a guy that was recruited to play defense and would have played defensive line almost anywhere else needs to be playing offense in offensive line, so we'll have to wait and see. Goodness me, that's it for me. Deuces.